Okay. I think you can see that we have doors. Now, I feel like I need to preface this by saying this piece is not finished. It will not be finished for some time. I have purposefully left some aspects incomplete because I intend to add on more to it as I go along. Remember when I said this was Katieland House 1.0? This is what this is. So you can see here, I got the hinges, and the hinges have been attached. I wish that I had been a little bit more careful with those because you can kind of see the bump out on that. But I'm pleased. The windows are all in. Oops, and the door fell open. The door will open this way. I didn't want it to open the same way, so it's going to be opening this way. And you're probably thinking, why isn't that door attached? Well, let's see. I love the fact these are... It's now open. You can see what's going on the inside and what the rooms all look like. Okay, because that was living room, bedroom, hallway, other hallway, kitchen, studio, more on the ceiling there, and some more on the ceilings in there and in there. And you can see here for the outside the patchwork of pieces that I've added, and the little, it's focusing on the stuff behind the windows, etc. Oh, I got a little, oh no, that's just newsprint. Okay, and then the door, once it's attached, will look like that. I'm pretty pleased with all of this, and hopefully we'll continue adding to. Again, here is all of the stuff. And again, people would say, why did you put all that time and effort into stuff that's not going to be seen? I mean, one could possibly argue that why do I make my artwork because no one's ever going to see it. Guess you could kind of, say the same sort of thing. But, it's I gotta be who I am. I'm following the Bowie rule. My David Bowie rule number 1, and I say this, I call these my Bowie rules. Number 1, you got to make your artwork for yourself. If you start making artwork for other people, it's not going to be as good. Number 2, my second Bowie rule is go out a little further than you're comfortable, because that's where the interesting stuff starts to happen. So I'm following that here. I'm really pleased with how the doors on the inside came out. This piece right here, I had the key piece, I had trimmed it, and then when I was putting together the collage of pieces here, this piece fit perfectly. Like, I didn't do any more trim. So I kind of took that as a sign to go ahead and just do what I was going to do. And you can see with some of these, this is a piece that, the piece that was on the inside. This is the piece from the outside wall. Other pieces, that's from the stairwell, that's from the hallway. This is a couple of new pieces in here. I love this piece. And it is very influenced by my grandmother Elizabeth. This was something she had an enamel teapot like this that I played with. It was burgundy with black trim. It was white or cream on the inside. I got to play with it when I was a little kid, and I loved it. So this is what we look like so far. The hinges required, because of the nails and the way the nails had to go in, because these are more like piano type hinges, they're longer, but I got them because they open completely. I did build these little pieces here that have 3 thicknesses of carton board, so they're like 6 millimeters deep, and about a millimeter wide, not a millimeter, centimeter wide, 6 millimeters deep and about a centimeter wide. So when I screwed these in, the screws came to about here. I wanted a little extra there. Plus, they act as door stops, which means the doors can't be pushed in. And I just made one for each room that kind of coordinates with the color. And you can see they close very nicely. I thought I was going to need to build a hinge, not a hinge, a clasp. I still left space here for it, and I may still add it, but I don't require it. It's not required if I don't want to put it in. So the last thing I need to do on the front for the finished for the show look, I love that you can look in the windows and there's glass or plastic in front of them, is I need to attach the door. And that's pretty much it. I have a few other little bits and bobs that I'm working on, which I'm right over here, so I guess I can just grab this instead of halting the video. This piece, the elephant, I put together last night, and I wanted it to dry completely before I started doing some additional work on it, i.e. some kind of paint-like work. I added on the little tail. I'd used Google Translate to translate the instructions, but I really didn't really need them, because I thought this was going to be like super difficult, and it really wasn't. Got the little front legs, so I've got a few things that I need to do. Plus, I can't say that I'm any kind of genius or anything, but you know, this is all pretty. Yeah, you can follow these directions pretty easily. I still need to manufacture this little. It's a 10-cent sized piece. And I've got to figure out where that is, how big that's got to be, because this was published in 45. So I don't know the size of a French 10-cent piece. So I'll have to look that up. And I've got to get the toothpicks ready to go on into the elephant. But I'm going to do some paint work first. I love the little ears. They look like Horton Hears a Who. And I've done some paint pen on the back, which I'm not sure how I'm going to be doing some of these things. You really can't see it from the inside here. If I can get in there and really focus. I added more glue to the joints, the little tabs where things are glued together. Come on, focus. And you're not going to do it. I added more glue to them because I wanted them to hold. I've also got to do a little bit of trim work. He came out pretty good. And what I want to do is elephant is going to be on top of the house. For 2 reasons. Number 1, elephants never forget. Elephants are very, very cool. And number 3, elephants are one of my husband's favorite animals. So that's why I chose the elephant. See, there's some little spaces in there. I'm going to patch those up with some paper behind it so I can kind of color on top of it. Because I know this is not like an exact thing. Now, I did make the little pram. I'm not sure about it. I'm going to go ahead and include it. It needs a little more work. I didn't like how this bowed as much as it did. But I think I might be able to fix some of that. And I need to finish up. And again, I was waiting for things to dry completely before I finish things. And you can see I've put things on the inside because, you know, some people have babies and some people don't, but they still have babies. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because I want to use that in the studio. So I'm going to finish those up this morning. Today's a paint day. Yeah. And then I'm going to get to work because I need to paint the background for this piece today, which shouldn't take too long. And I also want to build the base, which again shouldn't take too long. So anywho, thank you, patrons. Part of me is very excited to continue adding on to this. And I will continue to keep you updated as I continue to add more things onto things. So thank you, patrons, and I will see you in the next video.